Hey everybody, it's Nick here from Hotspot, and I am joined by G2's jungler, Skewmond, after a 4-game series against Gen.G. You guys came out incredibly strong. That first game was really, really good, and then obviously the last 3 games were a lot tougher. I know obviously it's very fresh to you guys, but just how are you feeling right now after the series? Where's your mind at on it? And just, let us into where you're at right now.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of disappointment because I truly believe that we could have won the series, to be honest.
Sure, yeah.
I think that, thinking about like some fuck-ups that I did, like last game, for example, when I got caught, before Nash, like these small details that just made the game really hard. And yeah, I mean, when you're playing against a team like Gen.G, like they don't really let you any room for mistake, and they abuse you very well. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that I'm kind of aware of what we're doing in the game, so that's already good, so I kind of know what we need to work on and what I need to do also individually, because on the third game I think I got really hard by cases this, and I think like we just played so well, it was a bit weird. And
it turns out this Canyon guy is really, really good at League of Legends. Speaking of which, I was talking with some of the press back here, and after that first game, we were losing our minds. In particular, I was talking to, I know you spoke to Armand from Sheep, who was saying that, you've got to ask a question to Skew if they win this about what it's like gapping the jungler that he watched. And while you may not have won the series, you gapped him game 1, dude. Like, game 1, you did absolutely you jungle canyon to canyon. And you're saying you're realizing the mistakes that you made. I think you referenced when you got caught near Raptor Pit just before Nash on Mundo in that last game. What went right in the first game then? What were the things that you guys were doing right that allowed you to, frankly, pretty one-sidedly dispatch Gen.G?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we were pretty aware of like how we wanted to play our games to our champions. Like a pretty slow game, controlled, and knowing which way we want to contest. The vision game as well was really good. And I think like in the first game, compared to the 3 other ones, was the one where we got least fucked in the swap lane, because like I think like in the next 3 games, them swapping turned out really bad for us, and we got like pretty behind. And I think it's like one of the biggest things in this series. So yeah, I mean, what went well, we just played control. We played in our terms and like played the fight pretty good, I think, because we know how our composition was.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's something we were noticing back here, was like you guys were executing very well on your composition, and back here we thought you had a bit of an Exodia draft, in the sense of like when your comp was doing what it needed to, it didn't look like Gen.G had any way in to like disrupt your game plan, which looked really good. And as you're noting there, so it feels to you like, it sounds like those last games, you let those little things go, a little bit of vision, a little bit of positioning, and Gen.G being Gen.G just manages to pull those open. Do you feel like that's really the center of it, is like you allowed things to get a little chaotic, and in those small moments of like not having a ward in quite the right space, or being like, I think on that, when you died on Raptor Pit before Nash, like if you're 75 units in another direction, you might not die. Do you think that's what went wrong for you guys, was just like little things started to fall out and Gen.G just started to punish for that?
Yeah, definitely. And like I was talking about the swaps, I think swap was a big thing because we got behind. Because on the BB on the Gnar game, we got pretty behind from it. I don't think we answered them really well, even in the last game. I don't think it was really great. Sure. Yeah, I mean, like the small details I totally agree. Like me warding, for example, the red instead of the Raptors, when it's like kinda obvious, and I was kind of aware of it, that he could just come afterward to camp. And yeah, like when this kind of things happen and like the games get chaotic, we definitely had some troubles coming back to the game.
Sure.
And I think like in the first game when everything was kind of stable, I think we were actually playing pretty good. But suddenly we didn't really found this stabilization in the next game, and that's what made it pretty hard.
Yeah, absolutely. So I play jungle. I'm nowhere near as good as you, but there was a game where back here, we were in absolute disbelief at how hard they wanted to never let you take romp. They had a vendetta out for it. I don't know if like they took a mortgage out on your blue side jungle. That's the most tilting thing in like solo queue to me, is like when I'm just trying to clear my jungle and suddenly both solo laners like converge on me from opposite sides. How, simple question, how do you stay focused when you've got the enemy team like, piling out of a clown car into your jungle just to stop you from taking a second spawn gromp or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to stay focused. I mean, like, I'm just trying to play this scenario as much the better way as I can. And yeah, I mean, like, to go for this kind of plays because, like, they have an idea behind it, and it's like most of the time they know it's good, because I don't think that this team is taking a lot of risk in that regard. I think like all of their players are like really just like they know what's going to happen, and they don't take a lot of risk, and most of the players is good. And yeah, I mean in that game it was like the second game, not the third game on Java.
Yeah, third game.
I mean like I think it was good by them, right? Like they just know the timing, and they know like for example when the first time he came level 2, then next time he got level 6 advantage. So for me that wasn't really contest. And these small details, like you just get a lot of leads. And
You did manage to steal one of the grubs. You got out there with one of them.
Nice, but sadly, yeah, like he just got a lot of leads, and yeah, I mean, like for example, when we got to from bot, I was like really close to cover that one. But yeah, like all of these details, you just see like how precise they are in their gameplay, and like how fast they are able to take decisions, and that's what made the difference.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Okay, the next questions have nothing to do with pro play. These will just be fun. We don't have to break down the match anymore. Have you seen Arcane? Have you watched the show? Okay. So Riot has said there will be another show. It'll be about new champions in a new region. If they came to you and they're like, Skewmond, we're out of ideas. You're in charge of the next season. Who would your show be about? Like, who would you want in the center? In center stage, like who do you want it to be about?
I mean, for me, it's like it will be pretty obvious. It will be like Nunu, because it's like my one-trick champion. I'm not sure if like the story would be crazy. I think it would be a bit cute. But if not, probably Yasuo, because I also used to be a one-trick, and I think that just like it's just badass samurai. You can probably have an insane story about him. So yeah, probably this.
Have you played the Nunu game? A Song of Nunu, I think it's called.
Yeah, I mean, I watched people play it. I didn't play it myself, but it looked like a nice game.
Yeah. I haven't played it either, but I've seen a bunch of clips. It looks really fun. So I guess the next thing would be when you're looking forward. Romain spoke about this before, which was like you could win the series, but I think as he said, it was expected that probably you guys were going to lose to Gen.G. However, now I think that first game was a lot more dominant than people expected you to look if you took a game, because if you had reversed the name tags and like put Gen.G's name tags on yours, I like might have believed that was special. You guys looked really good. What do you think you need to do to recapture that form that we saw in that first game and move forward through these next stages? You don't have to have all the answers here, but sort of what are your thoughts right now about like what can you do to move back to why you looked so good in that first game?
I mean, probably like understanding like our draft and our champions. How do you want to play our game? Because I think like in the first comp that we had, we kind of knew like how do we advance and progress the game. And I think like the more you have it, it's like the whole goal about your draft, right? Like if you're playing market draft, if you're playing buy draft, if you're playing sprint draft, or like whatever you want to play, TM draft for example, you just need to be able to understand how do you progress the game and what your champion is. And I think like in the first game we really knew what we wanted, and they didn't finish our weakness. It just showed and we just dominated. And I think like just understanding like how to play some different draft.
I do think the second game, I think you guys like were, was that the one where they had the Aurora dive comp and you had Galio Wukong? Yeah, I thought for with like there were a couple early picks that made it awkward, but I thought your draft there was really good because if you guys are even, they're forced to jump into you guys to advance the game, and like you've got Galio, you've got Wukong, you can just engage right back on them. Senna gets swallowed by TK and that kind of thing. All right, so we'll just wrap up here, which is just do you have anything to say to the G2 fans, to the fans cheering for you guys in lower bracket? All yours. Say what you like.
Yeah, I mean, as usual, like thanks for all the fans that keep supporting us. Even though like we didn't show some great performances, especially in the planes. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy that at least we could have shown a bit of our potential in the first game. And yeah, I mean, I'm disappointed that we couldn't bring it home. I mean, I know like from an outside point of view, like people, all of the people probably thought that we'll just get stoned. And yeah, I mean, we kind of got in the next games, but we
didn't expect that first game.
At least we got one game, so I just hope that we'll be able to show up in the next series, because yeah, I mean, for me it's a dream to play in international stages. So if I can go as far as I can, I'll be really grateful. So I'll do my best to win the next series.
Heck yeah, run it back to a rematch in the finals. Really appreciate you taking the interview, Skewmond. I know that was a tough match, and I'm glad that you sat here to talk. Everybody send your encouragement to the G2 roster, because I'm hoping to see you guys do some pretty sick things this tournament. All right, cheers.